Well, good Monday morning, everybody. It is, as I said, it's Monday, and it's raining, and it's potentially stormy. And before we even start this morning, I know I've been missing again. I try to do these every morning, and, if I wake up in the morning and I'm already running behind, then I don't get one done. Then the next day I miss two because I'm probably still behind. Then I just get a little bit discouraged, and then next thing you know, I've missed a whole week. But I'm back, and I'm working on some plans and ideas to keep myself caught up so that I don't have to scramble, because I've got to remember that these lessons, first and foremost, they're for the one who gives them. As I speak to you, I'm speaking to me, and I find that these are useful to my daily life, and I find them an encouragement when I do them. But here we are, Monday morning, and our devotional title is I Will Not Be Shaken. And our devotional verse is Psalm 16, verse 8. I have set the Lord always before me, because he is at my right hand. I shall not be shaken. Traditionally, to sit at the right hand of a ruler was a hugely important position. AI found this little jewel of a quote for me. Sitting at the right hand of a ruler means holding a position of supreme honor, absolute trust, and delegated authority, second only to the sovereign, which makes this description seem a bit odd, does it not? After all, God is not second in command to anyone. Normally, we see Scripture describing Jesus as taking a place at the right hand of the Father, and that seems to fit just fine. So what could be happening here? It might help us to remember that the reason a ruler's most trusted ally sat at the right is that a person's right side was their most vulnerable, in light of the fact that their shield would normally be held in their left hand. This left the right side vulnerable to attack, which is why only a trusted person would be allowed to sit there. While literally is normally the best way to interpret Scripture, it does seem obvious that a literal interpretation of this passage just doesn't work that great. It must mean something, and the something is really not that complex. To have God at his right hand is nothing more than the writer saying he feels he has his most trusted ally sitting with him, protecting him where he is most vulnerable. I'd have to admit I didn't glean that jewel from the recesses of my own feeble theological mind. Many commentators share that conclusion with me from the writings. Sometimes I'll read a scripture and I just go, huh? Anyway, what this psalm describes is not clear. Was it David? That's not clear. Was the person coming out of danger or heading into danger? Was the writer perhaps thinking on his own impending death? Again, none of that's really clear. What is clear is that the writer trusted absolutely in his God to protect and keep him. The writer has set God before himself at all times, knows God is protecting him at his most vulnerable, and as a result will be steadfast and resolute in his life and his faith. So where is God in your life? Is he always foremost in your mind and heart? Do you keep him set before you? If you do, you can trust that he will protect you, and then you won't be shaken either. Have a good day in the Lord, my friends.